what's up, everybody? I'm Bob Walters. That is Brett Grosso, and he is with Joe Esposito, the manager of the Sayville Golden Flashers.
Champs here.
Championship team headed to the States. Could we do Mets, Yankees? Now we're going to do local Sayville.
No, we're not even local anymore. Not even local anymore. Suffolk champs. Long Island champs. New York regional champs. We're moving on. We're going to the semis, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. You know what? We tried to have the football coach on when they were going
How far
in.
did we go?
And
we don't even know what the end is.
He blew us off. So, listen, now we got Joe. He's a classmate of ours. He's a friend of ours. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Two more. This is the chance we got, man. You know, we made it to the Final Four of the States right now, so we got a chance to go upstate. We get to play at the Mets affiliate, Rumble Ponies, AA affiliate.
I saw that.
We're playing there on Friday.
Mirabito Stadium, right?
Mirabito Stadium.
Yeah. This team you're playing is only 7-7, right?
We're 18-7 now. Okay?
Oh, 18-7.
Yes,
okay.
They are 7-7. That's what I got. That's what I saw on something.
Okay.
So, yeah,
and now you guys, your team. Listen, tell us about your team. You're obviously and we'll get into it. A pitching team, right? You've led up only more than 3 runs 3 times this year. So you guys are really a pitching team. Tell us about the team.
Well, first off, before I get anything, I just want to thank you two for having me here in the Brian Gunzel studio.
How
here.
could we
Brian's a fantastic, friend and great guy that we all grew up with.
This is our classmate.
So this is our classmate, man. We love him to death. I've heard about this place. This is awesome to be here, guys.
Big Sayville baseball guy. Big lefty pitcher for Sayville baseball.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Team guy, team first guy. Brian Gunzel
breathe, and sleep baseball.
Hey, little nugget for you. He was on my team in Little League, our last Little League year on the senior field with Leslie as the coach. And we beat you and your brother and your father. We beat you in 3 games in the championship. The only championship I've ever won.
You're lying.
No, I actually made a nice play out in center field off of you.
That was
the second year, and that was not my father coaching because
it wasn't.
13.
I remember your brother.
13. I struck you guys out 15, 16 times.
Your brother was throwing curveveballs and I can't.
Pete was a junk baller. Pete
was I hated Pete back then. I was like, who is this?
Yeah.
Joe is his brother.
Me and Brian Glenn got you the last year, though. Me, Brian Glenn, and Dick Glenn got you guys the last year. The only championship I ever won.
Brian's a great guy.
He is, Brian.
Oh, yeah. And he's a good coach, too, right? He's a high school
coach up at Rocky Point. And he's got a guy who just closed out a game to go to the World Series for Coastal Carolina, right?
Wow.
That was nice. I saw that one pop up. That's got to be a great thing for a coach. How rewarding is a coach to watch your guys go forward? And please give us some examples of some of these guys.
I had a moment, guys, this year, okay? A couple of years ago, I had one of my former players, Brock Murtha, transfer over from Notre Dame to Navy.
Big name.
So he got into Annapolis Navy, and he's doing fantastic things there, trained to be a Navy SEAL. And then 2 years ago, I had one of my former players, Jack Quinlan, join Army West Point. So this past year, they're playing each other. And so Brock's up, and Jack's catching. And the parents all take pictures of this moment, and I'm on the field coaching somewhere else, and I'm start getting text messages, and I start looking at my phone, and it's the pictures of these two together on the field playing against each other at Annapolis.
Army-Navy
That's game.
Sick. That's sick.
My former shortstop, speaking of what we're doing now, he was the one who led us there last time, throwing a no-hitter in the Long Island Championship in 2019, and Brock was playing for Navy up at bat with Jack catching for West Point, and it was a pretty special moment as a coach to see two of the best guys you could ever have joining, the service academies like that and competing against each other, representing Sayville. It's a great thing.
Yeah, nice. and listen, you guys they named the field after what, Barry Fitzpatrick?
I'm wearing the hat. This is the hat we had for Coach Fitz Day. We always do the Salute to Troops Day. And, Barry had over 315 wins on that field, coaching over 20 years as a head coach. And Barry came back, man. A lot of guys don't. And when Coach Cox took over, Barry came back as assistant with Coach Cox for 15 years.
15 years.
I came. Yeah, Rod was actually 14 years. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
we were just talking about how old we are.
I'm almost 10. I'm in my 9th year at Sayville. I was coaching them many years before that. But
so is this job now the stepping stone to superintendent?
Yeah, I hope so.
Hey,
but
give yourself raises in the budget, right?
Yeah, that's a lot more schooling.
Now let me ask you. You're not. Because to me, I thought this was weird. You're not a teacher at Sayville.
No.
You can. Has it always been like that? You could be a coach and not a teacher, or?
Yeah, my district, I work early enough where I get out early enough and I can, coach in other places when there wasn't availability in my district for, availability for coaching opportunities. So, Ryan had a coaching position back in 2017, invited me back to come back to Sayville, and I took the job as an assistant, and, the plan was for about a year or two, and he got a job right away. I took over 2 weeks later. He became the athletic director of Pat Med, and it was kind of like I got there right time, right place, and took over 2 weeks later.
They got very lucky.
Yeah, very lucky.
Joe, listen,
yeah.
Joe,
ever since alma mater, I bleed purple and gold.
We've played with Joe since we were little kids. Joe's been a great baseball player since.
A little overrated. A little overrated.
Well, let me tell you. It's pretty quick though. I will tell you this: Joe and I. And Mr. Lewin will tell you this: the fastest three-legged race in the history of the Lincoln Avenue Field Day you've ever seen.
Awesome.
There's nothing's ever come close to that.
We were in sync.
Nobody.
It was like a three-legged
I've never. Jackal. It's not even. You're just lucky if there's no videotapes on that today. It would be viral.
Champions.
Just so you know.
Now,
Who's together right now? We'll take down anybody.
So. What about your team? Tell us about your team. Who are your big guys? Your pitchers?
All right. So coming into this year, we had 3 stud senior pitchers, you know what I mean? 3 guys have been doing it since they were sophomores. Brought them up as sophomores to give them that experience, seeing the future that a couple of years they're going to be the guys and the ones you depend on to get the job done. So coming into the year, we were kind of high hopes for our pitching staff. We had some pretty good relief guys as well. So the question was always about hitting. We always had some pretty good hitting teams. Last year was a little bit of a lull, so we were a little skeptical about our hitting performance, and I think we ended up getting put in a really tough league this year. Every team were playoff teams in the past. Every team had real strong baseball programs over the many years, and it was just an up and down league. You had good games. We had numerous one-run games, and so I feel that really battle tested us, man. Being in this league, you complain about it all year. You're up and down. We won the league. We're 11-7, but a lot of other teams are winning leagues and they only got 2 or 3 losses.
I saw how you started that year, and you pretty much started off 2-2. Now, what was that like? Because you got to probably be a tipping point. How do you get your guys motivated at that point? And what do you tell your players at 2-2?
Well, you tell your guys just to kind of take one game at a time. One at bat at a time, one inning at a time, and not to look too far in the past. You have a bad game, you flush it. That's the beauty of baseball. You don't really you don't dwell on it. I might behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But don't let those guys dwell on it, flush it, and kind of get ready to play the next day. And that's kind of your attitude with baseball all the time,
Yeah, and you got hot at the right time. I think you won 8 of 9, right? You won 8 of 9. Your last 2 games just this week are back-to-back shutouts. So you're going into this game on a 2-game shutout thing. The game against Wantor, I guess it was earlier in the week, right? The Long Island Championship.
Yeah, Long Island Championship.
It was a 1-0 game. The final was 1-0. You scored the run on a sac fly in the first inning. But before that, in the top of the first, your starting pitcher came in, obviously your best pitcher, walks the first 2 guys. You immediately hook him. He's out, right? Now it ended up working out. Did you tell him before the game that you were gonna have a quick hook or anything like that?
Yeah, I was skeptical going into it. He was our number 3 guy all season, and when the playoffs kind of came into it, we won. So when you stay in the winners bracket, you don't go too deep into your pitching staff, all right? If you lose a game and go to that losers bracket, you need all hands on deck.
Are there rules like Little League where they can only pitch X amount of innings?
Yes. Well, it's pitch counts and stuff like that and night's rest, okay? So it's same idea a little bit. So, you're nervous about how you're going to work it out, but he was the guy we needed to go to at that point in time. He hadn't had much many opportunities the past few weeks, though, at the playoffs because we were in the winners bracket and doing well. So, but he was throwing some bullpens and stuff to, at practice and looking really good. And it got to a point where, we were looking for an opener, someone to kind of get us to our ace, who was kind of our guy all year, Tyler Brown, and we wanted someone as an opener, kind of get 2-3 innings, get the ball to Brown. I wanted the ball in Brown.
So he was only going to pitch 2 or 3 innings to begin with.
He was only going to pitch 2 or 3 to begin with. So, so when I saw him and, I've seen Andrew, he's a phenomenal baseball player, but when I see when he's up a little bit, it takes a little. He didn't really, and I just thought that was the game right there in that moment.
And that
two guys on, right? So 2 guys on right off the bat. I said, listen, he doesn't have it. I'm not waiting for this, and I'm going to do it. And he was okay with it because I grabbed him right away and said, Drew, you're a captain, you're a leader. I need you to be my first baseman right now and do what you do.
Now, what got you to do that like so early? I'm telling you, that takes some balls doing that early. And let me tell you, the thing that earlier in your career you've looked back and like maybe there's situations where you let it get away from you? Did you say like, I can't let that happen again?
Yeah, I said as a staff, like a coaching staff, we've been through a lot. First of all, I got the best staff in the world. Coach Kevin Acker's been my guy for 15 years, Coach John McGordy, I got one of my oldest friends back with me the past few years.
Love Gordy.
So we really, Jack Leniak is a former player, graduate, trying to make a career out of it. So, we got a great staff and, every decision's a group decision. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those guys that it's not a dictatorship in my
Yeah, but you're sitting here answering the questions about it now.
Well, yeah, but I make the final call.
Gotta take the heat.
I make the final call. I take the heat, whatever. But so they weren't really. Kev's my pitching guy. He's calling the pitches. He kind of said, "Hey, at least go talk to him." And I said, "I think I'm pulling him." And I trust my other guy too. The guy we went to. He's a little sophomore. I mean, he's a big boy, sophomore kid. But he throws a little bit more junk. And I read about these guys, and I read that they were fastball guys. I thought maybe, hey, if we can get 2 to 3 innings out of him, this will be great. And he started to be very effective.
And to get out of that, Jim, I mean,
get
out of first and second, nobody out, and he got out of another jam in like the third or fourth inning where there were 2 on, and he got out of another one. And I mean, that's like the Mets game the other day, Brett. You saw it, right? When both teams got out of bases loaded, nobody out jams.
And that shows you how you are when it gets in tough situations. It's one thing when things are humming and you're doing well, but when you put yourself in a tough spot, that's when you learn what you got.
Yeah.
Well, their coach,
all right, he's a cool, calm, collected kid, man. Nothing phases Joe. He was a perfect kid to put into that situation. He gives up the hit. All right. Who's next? I'll get the next guy. You know what I mean?
And
Joe
their coach is kicking
up.
himself. Their coach even quoted, he was kicking himself. He said, you know what? If I knew that it was going to be such a tight, low-scoring game, I would have bunted him over and played small ball and try and get a run, to manufacture a run, which he didn't do. He was expecting a 3-4 run inning.
But if you're bunting with your 3-batter in the first inning,
fair point.
All right, come on.
Point.
All right, that's not something I'm ever doing.
But he did the hindsight's
He's doing it
2020
to himself. Yeah.
Because his guy pitched a hell of a game. His guy pitched a hell of a game.
He's a
2
great
hits.
kid, man.
I think you guys got 2 hits that day.
Yeah, he was very good. We just happened to get the big one. Kyle Messina getting Aiden Devane. Good little freshman right now, man, guys. You're going to hear that name. He's a very good little player.
What was it?
Aiden Devane. He's a very good player, freshman leadoff guy for me, playing third base. He drew the walk, and then Kyle Messina, man. You guys have heard that name plenty of times. Yeah. Kyle is not only a football star, he's a baseball star too. And Kyle has batted over 500 this year. He's a Gold Glove winner at shortstop. He's an unbelievable player. He's the best athlete on the field. Kyle drove another ball up the middle. Andrew Law moves him over, so we got 1 out, second and third, and my guy Shane Meehan, big time catcher, great players come through in big situations. Shane came through there. Shane came through again last night with a big home run. So, got the run across, and that was all we needed, Bobby, and that's what I was telling you, bud. Like, this team in this league this year, numerous one-run games, I'm telling you, it's like you battle-tested, I'm telling you. I wasn't too...
well, you guys don't let up any runs. You guys don't even need a big offense. You score... No, you scored to under about 5 runs a game, 4 or 5 runs a game, but you let up less than 3. So I mean, your ERA is like 2 point something like that. That's a pretty crazy
Big
ERA.
Defense, buddy.
Recipe for success,
especially in high school. Because you got the like you said, you got a kid hitting 500, right? Yeah. So every team has one of those guys. Somebody who's really killing it, who's just better than everybody else. And yours is he's the running back, right, for the football team?
Oh yeah, he's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. So he's just a big.
What's his plan? What's it? Yeah, where's he going?
Full scholarship to Colgate to play football as a strong safety. He's an unbelievable human being. Why don't you talk to the parents, Joe? Baseball's where the money's at. I tried to.
They keep the money when they sign the baseball contract.
Oh, Craig, if you hear me, I always said, Colgate had a baseball team.
These guys all switch around, but you even look like you were talking about the guy who went to Notre Dame and where he was lacrosse also, right?
No,
Brock Murtha? He was all baseball?
All baseball.
All right.
Brock's probably the only 8th grader I can ever remember that was a starting varsity player hitting. He had my stats as a senior when he was in 8th grade.
I remember us talking about we were at
about 340.
I'm telling you, I remember sitting at the block party and you were just like, you just watch. This kid broke the record for what most home runs as a freshman or whatever it was. Like
he lost his senior year though, the poor kid. So
he
might have
is that
broken
what it was?
record. He might have broken that home run record. He had about 29. I think the record was 40 in a high school career.
Yeah, but you guys are hitting it over a 45-foot left field wall over there, right? At Sayville?
Oh, you love it. I call it the swamp box.
They put up a little wall. How tall is the wall out there?
Oh, they put a high wall up. Okay.
17,
it's a whole nice complex. Bob hasn't been down there in a while.
No, I haven't been down there.
Complex.
Coach
I'm
Cox
a City boy now.
Well, it used to be a 700 feet to right.
Yes.
You guys used to have 700 feet to right.
Yeah.
Put in the
And
brick away.
you have to hit it to 7 a.m.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't make the
coach-
team. I didn't make the team because I was a lefty. You know, I couldn't hit
Right,
700
Bobby.
feet.
Well, good. Yeah, you would get it.
You know? It's all right.
Actually,
Bob.
on
We
that
love you,
field,
man.
when I played Little League, Pat Sacafico came out and offered me. We were doing batting practice. I was tiny when we were Little League, and he was like, "I'll give you $1 for everyone you hit out of the infield." I think I left the field with $3 that day.
Pat's still a gambling man.
Yeah. I took him for $3. So now you play. You go up. Now, how many layers is there until a state champion?
All right, so basically, once you win Suffolk County, you go state championship bracket kind of begins right there. All right, so then but we just always kind of match up with Section 8 with Nassau County. You kind of have a Long Island championship, and the winner kind of goes upstate.
Gotcha.
And then I guess depending on the number of teams who make the bracket, sometimes there's a regional game, sometimes there's not. This year we had to do a regional game, and that's what we won last night against Marlborough Central. And that puts us to the state tournament in the Final Four, playing for the semifinals on Friday. And if we win Friday, you play Saturday in the state finals at 1 o'clock, and that's it. So
State finals is a day game, 1 o'clock. I love it.
Day game, 1 o'clock.
So you win this game, you go right to the state final.
Next day, yep.
Oh, so if you
Wait,
win
now
this
you're
game
playing-
this week, you go.
Yeah.
You're in the finals.
Two.
Oh,
Either
wow.
we win or lose. If we lose Friday, we get on the bus and come home, fellas. So I mean,
Now-
like the max we can have is 2 more games.
And these guys you're playing, this is like almost like a home game for them. They're
Yeah,
like
they're
right
up
next
there.
door, right?
Yeah, it's like hosting the Super Bowl. And you make
But are you the home team? Are you the home team?
It's like that.
Are you the home
I
team?
think that's a coin toss.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you going with? Go with Tails, right? Tails.
Tails never fails, baby.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
what
love
I
it.
do. Tails.
I'm feeling good. Sable's the home team. Then.
Tails is my thing, man. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't be the guy who wins the coin toss and goes, "We want to bat first."
No. Home. I like.
Don't be.
No, 100%.
Who did that? Who did that with the Seahawks? Did that in the playoffs? Remember they were like, "We want the." They were like, "No."
No,
Didn't work out that time.
Now what? Now the Sayville. I know Sayville. When we were growing up, it was South Bay Lions when we were little, right? Playing football, and it was just basically like handed off. Me and John McGordy split quarterback. I went into the huddle one time with my shoes on, my cleats on the wrong feet. That's all I remember about the one season I played. But they changed it to like they're grooming these kids. It's like the minor leagues for Sayville high school football.
Sayville has fantastic, it's a fantastic community, guys. We all grew up here. It's like, and it's only grown and gotten better with the.
Do they do it with
sports and
baseball? Has
everything
Little League
involved.
changed
it's
it all?
Baseball. Have you been to Broadway Park?
It's
Bob,
crazy.
this
Now it's
year?
all field
They
turf.
just redid
The
it
whole
this year.
Oh, they have field
everything.
turf?
Everything.
It's all turf now, Bob.
No,
Where's
it's
this money?
separate
Where's
field.
this money coming from?
Town finally
taxes.
gave you-
Taxes.
Yeah. Have you seen the houses?
Oh, yeah, it's a never real quick. You brush that one off.
Property
real quick.
values.
Finally
That's-
going to the kids.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We
Hey,
used
listen,
to just embezzle
when we
it.
grew
Now
up, we
give
had
it back to the
we had
community.
Mrs. Hackett.
It's called accountability.
We had Mrs. Hackett keeping stats and handing out the newsletters each week with our stats.
Thank God
That
we
was
did.
the
Thank
best.
God we did.
And
Jerry
the
is
hot
best.
dogs.
Jerry Hackett, God love you. You're the best.
Yeah.
That lady
She was
fed me
awesome
through
to all of
everything. 'Cause I hung
Yes.
out with Brian like every day in the morning. She'd give us money to go to Sayville Pizza.
Yeah.
We'd run the hot dog stand with her at
us.
Sayville.
Mrs. Mall, Mrs. Hackett.
She
they
definitely
were
rigged the
best, man.
stats a
Yeah.
little bit, so we were doing a little better.
I had-
There was so
yeah,
many
right.
positives to
Hey,
it. Like
Mom runs it.
Yeah,
Loved it.
I think
The best.
Jenkins broke the 60 home run barrier like 3 times.
Might have back then, man.
yeah, but he was
Yeah.
juicing, so it doesn't even count. So give me a break.
I used to umpire for hot dogs.
Bats
He was
stink now,
6'3"
guys.
playing-
I'm telling you, the bats stink now. These kids don't get to hit too many
Oh,
balls
not
anymore
like
out there
that.
anymore. I don't know. There's not balls flying.
I'll
Eric
never
Spence
forget
anymore.
my first big field home run,
I'm
and
sure.
nothing like it like you'll ever have on the big field at Broadway as a kid hitting that home run.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
I'm
Remember
sure.
when the Russians came to play?
that
Yeah,
was
versus
awesome.
the Cubs.
Yo, and I keep
And
no,
they had
you're
the
gonna
pins, the same old
The pins, yeah.
That was such a big day for us. When
Yeah.
we get the
We-
CCCP guys.
Yeah. The Russians came to
Go,
Sayville.
Joe.
They played on Broadway Park.
Whoa, Brett pulls out the Russian
got it
pin.
from the game. He's swapping pins.
Wow, I remember swapping pins with them, and I was like, "What are these guys?"
That's it. I thought that
Was that
I
the
found
Russian
a year
national
ago.
team?
Hammer.
Isn't that sick?
We got the commie symbol.
This
I
is like
can't believe it.
illegal.
It's gotta
You go
be-
to
yeah, it's definitely
jail.
illegal.
You don't even
Yeah.
show this.
Wow.
You gotta-
No, it's cool, right?
Did you pay the
Actually,
tariffs
yeah.
on it?
I remember.
We must have been about 10
And there's
years
guys
old,
who
right?
had tons of them. I don't even know how we had USA.
No, they were
pins to
trading. We
trade.
traded them through the
But
fences.
yeah,
I remember.
But who brought the pins to trade? Like you
Who
had
brought the
pins?
Russians here? Like, who set that
I
up?
don't know. And they played with
And
the
that was
Sayville
not a
Cubbies.
time to bring the Russians.
It had
That was
to listen.
88.
Finding later.
Rocky IV.
Rocky IV.
Yeah.
It was- and me and Joe were watching in the basement. They were like, "We're bringing the Russians."
Listen.
And our minds were blown.
Knowing what we know now,
Baseball.
it was Steve Levy was definitely involved in it.
You're probably right, and I bet and the Cubbies, I think, won that game. The Sayville Cubs,
The Sayville Cubs. That's
beat the USSR.
how many guys defected? They probably ran off the field.
Yeah, no, no,
Seriously, why would you ever? They should have ran to Broadway.
Oh,
Now, me and Brett, now Joe was on the Sayville Mariners. Have always been like a thing. They were like a
Right,
tryout
right.
team.
Now there's
Me and
tons
Brett,
of them, buddy.
me and Brett didn't make the Mariners. So what we did is we started our own Mariners team, and we had it with the guys who didn't make it, like Jeremita and Jeremita's father. We won
Jeremita
about
became
3
good, though.
games.
Good.
He
was
became
good. And
real
Colin
good.
Bell was pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. But Colin Bell's a hockey player. Let's be real. And then with Colin Bell, if he's got to choose, he's got to go to the NHL. Him and Matt Shannon. I mean, I don't know how Matt Shannon did. We used to not invite Matt Shannon and Colin Bell to play hockey with us because they were too good.
They're too good.
suck.
Matt
He'd
was
show up and we'd be
awesome.
like, "Oh, here's Matt Shannon."
Yeah, you could barely skate.
Yeah.
I could never skate, guys. I can't skate.
No, you weren't.
Yeah.
You weren't.
I
Yeah, you
was
weren't.
always
You
so
weren't.
jealous.
Yeah, no, those who can't do teach.
You guys used to. Yeah, you guys used to play
you
in
gotta
my
you gotta
neighborhood.
coach now, Joe. You didn't hack it. You didn't. You know.
Yeah. Those who can't do coach. Those who can't coach teach gym, right?
That's right, brother. That's right.
What do you teach? What do you teach?
I'm a special ed teacher, man. I do a little bit of American
Okay,
history with
okay.
7th and 8th grade special education. I love it, man. You know.
Okay.
Get
How
to
many years you
work
got? How
with
many
my
years you got?
kids
You got to be
every
almost done, right?
20 years, man. 20
Oh no, you got to. Oh, you got 20. See, if you were in my job, you'd be out.
Yeah,
Already.
I get to 55. I know. But
Yeah, they get-
Yeah,
listen,
yeah, but
Joe-
only half the guys
You got a little
survive
worse
though.
than
So
I
that's
do.
a nice.
Let's
you're
be
having
real.
50%
Joe is the
survival rate.
coach. He's going to the state
I'll take
finals.
my-
Yeah.
The biggest
I'll take
upset
my
here.
14.
The biggest upset here is that they gave me a badge and a gun.
I'm a little scared of that. I'm a little scared of that.
And
But I trust you, Bobby. You're a
Yeah,
good
you
guy.
gotta
can
get-
see me in there. I'm tough in there, Joe. I'm tough in there.
You gotta
I
get the
imagine you
Rikers.
are. I've seen you getting beat up a few times.
Yeah,
It concerned me. I asked some guys.
Well,
the friends that
they
work
ask
there,
me all
but
the time.
apparently I asked these guys. I got a
'Cause
guy, Dennis, who works there.
Yeah.
My buddy Dennis DeStefano, coaches son in wrestling. I asked him if he knows you, and he's like, no, I don't know. I guess there's so many buildings there.
Oh,
These
yeah,
guys
it's
don't
Yeah,
like
know
there's
each other.
so many jails.
and nobody knows names.
They ask me all the time, the inmate, because I just spray them with the pepper spray. I'm not fighting these guys. Like, they ask me all the time. They're like, what are you going to do? Why don't you fight me? I was like, because I lose. What kind of question?
Yeah.
They ask me, they go, you tough like this in the town? I'm like, no, I don't have, no. I go, I'm running the other way from you in the town. You shot 3 people. Then we live in a society here.
Well,
I'm
I
not fighting
tell
you. I'm a
him,
43-year-old man.
We
Who am
talk
I
to him all
fighting?
day, and like you go, listen, you don't even be like a jerk to him unless it's like you have to. A lot of times you have to be, but guess what? Tomorrow you might be seeing him at Home Depot.
Yeah,
So it's like
yeah.
you're just walking through, and they're going to be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, nurse." All
So
the time.
I was walking
Go
my
to
daughter.
Walmart.
I was walking my daughter down the street, and all of a sudden I hear Walter, and I turn around and it's a guy that I know from an inmate, and he's like, "Yo, Walter, what's up, man?" And I'm talking to him, and his friends are like, he's wearing full red, right, nothing but red, and I'm like, "Oh, they let you out," you know, and his buddies go, "Who's that?" And he's like, "No, this is Walter. He good money. So then when I'm pulling away, I'm walking away, and I said to my daughter, I go, that's Daddy's friend from work.
Got some juice on the street, bro.
Yeah. No, I know
That's
the
love.
criminal element is all.
I'm telling you,
Yeah, it's scary.
Team
You
of
fake it till
criminals
you make it.
got
I
our
fake it till I
back.
make it. I never fought anybody. The only fight I got in high school was Brett smacking me in the face in the lunchroom.
Yeah, best friends have fights here and there. You know,
So,
that's all right.
but okay.
Get
So
over
now,
it.
just
so
prepping you.
what do you expect going forward? Are you expecting to win this whole thing? Are you going to be state champions? Has Sayville ever won a state championship in baseball?
No, but we've only had, this is the second county title we've had, second Long Island championship we had. First one is 2019, and then got this one this year. But we had a rough go in 2019. We ran into one of the best high school teams I've ever seen in Boston Spa, and a lot of guys went to D1 baseball. One of the guys is currently playing minors, who had 2 home runs that game, Phil Gold. So got a little PTSD from that. So I'm hoping this year we works out a little bit better for the guys. But it's just about bringing them together, Bobby. They're high school boys. The high school.
How'd you
boys,
let the
man.
kid
You
on
gotta
the
find ways to
Angels?
get
How'd you let
together.
the kid on the Angels not go to Sayville?
That had nothing to do with me. He was gone before I got here.
That's
And
okay.
I'd speak to his mother all the time. And beg her,
Better
like,
question.
"Come
Better
on,
question.
let's
Would
get
you
it
have
done."
gotten him to the Angels?
I'd like to
Yeah,
say.
no, I think he's a good ball player. He's a good ball player. He's a good
He's
catcher.
amazing.
Ball player.
He's
He
an
is.
amazing ball player. He's even a better young man. He was at the kids. I saw him at this summer. I'm walking my dog, and I see the kids got a lemonade stand outside by Sunrise Drive, and Logan O'Hoppe drives away and
Logan,
waves to me. So he waves to me, and I get to the kids, and I say, "Do you guys know who that just was?" And they're like, "No."
Oh, that's the best.
And I'm like, "Guys, that was Logan O'Hoppe, the catcher for the Angels." And they're like, "What?" And the one kid hops on his bike and runs back. He's like, "He lives next door to me." And then he comes back. He goes, "It was him. It was him."
That's
awesome.
He got hurt. He got hurt last year, I think, right? He was out most of the year. He got hurt.
He's having a good year right now, man. He's got like 14.
He just signed a big contract. He just signed like a $10 million contract or something.
Well, he deserves it, and I hope he finds a way back to New York.
Those kids are going to remember that forever too, and that's the story. So that's really awesome.
But he was gone before I got here. He fell in love with St. John the Baptist, and that was it was great. Worked out great for Logan. I'll tell you.
Let me ask you: Do the Catholic schools? Because I know, like in I was just speaking to a guy who wrote a book about the first Long Island basketball championship, and Babylon won it, and I was asking him, because Long Island's not a hotbed for basketball, and we're Sayville. Like we were, we weren't good at basketball.
You got some, Lehigh out in Nassau.
It was like Jim Mora and we weren't very good at basketball. Not saying anything against him. He was a good ball player, but when you play in Amityville, it's a whole other ballgame. But then now I was asking him, do the private schools try to poach kids from your teams?
I don't think it's so much that. I think it's kids that play at certain levels with travel baseball teams, then they become friends with kids in different teams and different schools, and sometimes you become buddies with, and then there's a little friendship recruitment, if you will. I mean, I've never had that happen to me. It's a parental decision, and I leave it up to them with that. I don't get involved in where they're choosing to go to school. Of course, I'll throw my 2 cents in. Of course, I want kids to stay here at Sayville, play for me. But it's a family decision, and you gotta let that happen.
Yes. So I mean,
as much as it hurts sometimes, as much as it hurts.
Listen, you have a few days between now and your next game. Is everybody rested? Is everybody healthy?
Any injuries?
You ready to go?
Any injuries the gambling community might not know about yet?
We will be rested. It's about
who's pitching?
Motivating young men.
Who's pitching?
My two studs are going to be pitching, bud.
Okay, so you're not naming the stars.
We'll hold on. We'll bleep it. We'll bleep it all out.
I got two very good seniors and very good relief to do the job.
Now, will they all be reset by game time? Where they could, if he pitches a gem, he could go all 7.
They're all they're all good to go for Friday, Saturday. We played.
Is that part of the strategy? You have to, because you have another game if you win this. Is part of the strategy maybe pulling him out in the 5th if you have a 5-run lead, something like that, so you have him for the next game?
Bobby, like I said, PTSD, buddy. I've been burned before. I kind of like to keep my best in there,
he's got to start. He's dodging.
You got to win. Hey, man.
It's like a pro. It's like a pro ducking my questions here. He's like a pro ducking my questions.
I have the best coach in the world growing up, and that was my father, right? And my father always said to me, man, and we just put a banner out on Broadway Park for him. He loves it. It's fantastic. It's awesome.
I love that.
But my father always said, son, you go with your best because you got to win to get to the next game. And he's 100% right, and I've never faltered kind of from that philosophy. You got to win to get there, so I'm going with what we feel is our best pitcher to get to the finals.
Okay,
that's what I got a 1A. I got a 1A, 1B anyway.
Because there is no tomorrow if you lose this one, right? You can't be planning for game 7 for the next game if there is no.
This team's never coming back. You get one shot with these teams. These teams are one and done. No matter what, you may have some of the same guys back. But no matter what, these teams are all one in themselves. This isn't,
this group will be together is this weekend.
Man, I'm sure they're all so hyped up. How excited are these kids?
Now, they're pumped, but it's all about motivating them, man. So, I'll tell you, Bobby, it all changed when we went on a night of laser tag, buddy.
Nice.
I swear
are you went on a team laser tag?
We were having a lull. I got some of the best booster moms. I said, we need a team night. I need these guys coming together. I need something to go. So they worked it up. I said, I've never seen a laser
car wash. Did they do a car wash?
No. This has to be something fun. So we went and got pizza, and then we had laser tag, and then I kind of came up with a saying for the kids, and now I got to get it tattooed. I said, if you win Long Island and stuff, I'll get a tattoo of it. Now I got to get Tayosh Baye.
Tayosh Baye.
So I was telling Brett earlier, Bobby, So, I was looking up words to kind of bring this team together, and something that means, unity and togetherness and family, and I'm looking up stuff for the Lakota Sioux language, and found Tayosh Baye, and it means like the interconnectedness of community and non-blood people kind of being all together and family, and I was like, that's perfect. And that kind of, when I first said to the kids, I thought it'd be our battle cry. Like, I thought they'd run with it right away.
Especially as a history teacher,
No, Joe, you got to realize, listen, you got to realize, we're not cool anymore.
No,
we're not cool anymore.
No, we're not.
Like, we think we try to be cool. We are not cool anymore. Like, when you say something, you're like, you realize how uncool we really are. Well, now. So now, quick fire. Rapid fire.
Wait,
Bobby, it took off, though. It eventually took off. It took till after laser tag to where all of a sudden it's our battle cry. It's how we greet each other.
What is it? What is it?
Say goodbye.
Tayosh Paye.
Now the parents are putting it on shirts and stuff, and it's pretty.
At what point did they say you're getting a tattoo of this? Like, where were you at? Where you were like, is this like?
Oh, you're getting a tattoo if you win?
No. So if he's getting this tattoo now. So he's all set up to get a tattoo.
I figure I'm just going for it, Bobby. I don't have many tattoos. I figure I'm going to try and get something big.
But when did you agree to this?
So last year, we were going on a playoff run. And
you never agree to a tattoo. What are you doing?
I know, but it's to motivate your kids, Bobby. It's to motivate your kids. So I tell them last year, every game was on the road for us last year. So I said, if we come through all on the road and we win this championship, I'll get Road Warriors 24 tattooed.
Okay.
It didn't happen. Okay. So then this year, I got some of the same guys, and we started with the Tayosh Paye. It really carried on now, and now it's our battle cry, and the kids love it. And they say to me, Coach, you getting Tayosh Paye tattooed if we win it this year? And I said, absolutely, guys, you got it.
And now you're there.
Now I'm there.
When are you getting it done? When are you getting it done?
I'm meeting with one of my former wrestlers. I was able to coach a former state champion from Central Islip, Andy Rodriguez, great guy. And Andy owns his own shop up in Brentwood, Chupacabra.
Nice.
And Andy agreed to meet with me, and we're going to discuss some of my thoughts here.
All right.
I'm going to try and have some fun with this. Hopefully Andy can put it together.
One of my favorite things recently was when you put up the thing about how wrestling it taught you lessons and lessons in life, and it's just like life, and it makes sure you're on time and everything. And I commented. What did I comment?
I don't remember exactly how you commented, but that was something I was watching. It was a father moment. I was watching my son.
That's what it was. Your son was getting ready, going to bed already.
Getting himself up, getting himself going, heating up his own food, getting his drinks, getting up at 5:30 in the morning, getting a bus at 6 a.m., telling me he's ready to go. I was watching a lot of maturity happen right there before my eyes. And that's what wrestling does for kids, man. I mean, it's the toughest sport out there, mentally, physically. I coach that too. So, and that's kind of it's a weird dynamic being a wrestling and baseball guy. There's not many of us. I think my buddy Eric Strovnik up at Mount Sinai is the only guy that's with me. It's with me with wrestling. But it's a great sport to kind of build some toughness with kids and build some work ethic, of course, and being able to become more independent.
Yeah, and you did. You said a whole thing about it.
You step on the mat, it's a tougher world out there.
Yeah, and you said a whole thing about how you're proud of your son. He was already getting ready. He had his bag packed. You said, we'll leave it in a half hour. He said, I'll be ready in 10 minutes, Dad. And it was this whole thing about how you're going to be on time because you're wrestling. And my comment was, I've never wrestled a day in my life. Currently 42 minutes late for work. Your theory checks out.
That's so
and it was 100% true. I was currently 42 minutes. 100% true. Late for everything. I'll be late to my own funeral. Now, quick fire.
Just so you know, hold on one sec, real quick.
What do we got here?
Joe winning the championship. He gets his locked up sports. He did it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my wife makes. Look at these, Joe. Look at these.
He did it. You get.
My wife makes these shirts.
Your wife's awesome.
Yep.
We had one where
she's a saint.
Joe pulled it off.
Oh, I love you guys.
She wasn't happy about the one that she made where it said, when it comes to the Yankees, I root for plane crashes, and it had a plane going down. And then they did a whole segment on WFAN about the shirt. And she's like, oh my God, I made that shirt.
That's right.
She wasn't happy about that.
I'm not that much of a hater, bro. I'm a Mets guy.
Yeah, no, I know you're a Mets fan. Listen, me and Brett got dugouts. Each. You got to come.
Yeah, I know. You guys are unbelievable. But I'm always coaching, Bobby. I can't wait to go.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby, I'm coming when I retire.
That's right. So
now it's all together for the block party. I didn't even get us talking about that yet.
That's right.
Don't even worry about that.
So now a couple quick fire Sayville questions for you. And just answer whatever you like better. Broadway or Gillette?
Broadway.
Okay. Sal's or Sayville?
Sal's.
Nice.
Sal's.
Okay.
Interesting.
Crickets or Cafe Joel?
Gotta go with Cafe Joel there, man. Crickets is
yeah.
gone. Now you got the Wayward.
So is Cafe Joel, right? So is Cafe Joel.
No. They just moved.
Okay.
But I'd say both guys are great owners. I love both places, the Wayward and Joel. They're both awesome.
Okay.
Guys. Great spots.
John McGorty or Ryan McGorty?
That's a solid question. What are you going to do? You have Sorry, Chief.
He's my oldest friend. We've been good buddies since we were in preschool together. He's now one of my assistant coaches. He's great, John McGordy. I love you, man.
All right. And does Bayport what? Bayport.
Not a fan.
Bayport sucks. Bayport sucks.
He's trying to be. Let's not get the guy in trouble. We made it through a whole interview.
And final one is
exactly.
I respect you. You guys are awesome. Great competitors.
You know what's going to happen?
No,
one day they're going to be like, Joe, you want to be the superintendent of Bayport? And they're going to be like, no, and they're going to be like, here's the clip, and he's out.
Well, here, the last one is last one is Lotus of the Pit.
The Pit.
We're having fun.
Love the Pit.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. And that's all we're going to say about it.
She dropped me off at the track. She was having a heart attack. I said, Mom, it's all good. We just run down there and make it right.
I think your brother picked us up in the van from the Pit once.
Yeah.
I remember that clearly.
So when's the game? When's the game?
The game is Friday morning. We're heading up Thursday morning, so we're going to get up to Binghamton, get a little practice in, have a little dinner, and hopefully get a good night's sleep and get up and get going.
It sounds like you can see the game. I found this Max Preps thing. It's pretty cool. You can listen to the games. You can watch the games. Joe, we got to be streamed. We want to be the official podcast of Sayville Baseball.
I would love that.
We'll get there.
I would love it. I would love to come and visit you guys more.
We'll be at the parade. We'll be at the parade down the Canyon of Heroes of Main Street.
Oh my God! Yeah, now we're talking.
Get it done, man. If
I
can get it done and come back to visit you guys, it would make it all.
All right. His name is Joe Esposito. He's the Sayville manager. They're going for the state title. Joe, best of luck. So let's go Sayville.
Thanks, brother.
Love you, brother.
Guys, man. Love you guys more. You guys are great. Thank you.
How about that? Thank you. Joe Esposito, manager of the Long Island champion Sayville baseball team, as they head upstate 2 games away from their first state championship, and we wish them the best of luck this weekend, Friday morning, and then Saturday if they win on Friday for state championship, the first one in Sayville history. So good luck to that. Thanks again to Joe Esposito for coming in studio guest. Figures we get an in studio guest. I'm not even in studio, but either way, great job by him. Great job by Brett. Don't forget, rate, review, and subscribe, everybody. Don't forget to check out that QR code right there down on the left side, bottom left of the screen, and follow the show. Leave us a review. Tell your friends, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. From the Brian Gunzel Studios, we'll see you next time, everybody. I'm Bob Walters. See ya.